I don't like the idea of losing over 20 pounds of muscle. I don't like the idea that became the reality of losing a lot of strength. My 1 rep max strict press was like 255, and I couldn't even hit 205 in July. So I've decided to go back on it. I'm taking testosterone.
So I'm sure many of you know who the Liver King is. He rose to prominent a few years back by promoting this healthy lifestyle and his ancestral tenets. He would be seen on video eating bull testicle, raw liver, and various forms of raw meat. When you first took a look at the Liver King, the first thing you would notice was his insane physique. He would claim that he got this through sheer determination, working out, and living his ancestral tenet, and claimed that he was never on steroids.
I guarantee you nobody has done what I've done. Nobody lives the way that I live. I think it's dangerous when somebody points the finger and has a self-limiting belief about themselves or somebody else, or anything for that matter. Like, I think at the end of the day, if you say he's got an ass full of steroids, I think invariably some people want to look like Liver King. They want to look like me. And what you're saying is you got to do that if you want to look like him. And number one, I don't do it.
Along with promoting these ancestral tenets, he would also promote his supplements that he claimed is what helped him get that peak body that he had. Most people could clearly tell that he was on steroids, and he was even criticized by Joe Rogan for claiming that he was all natural.
The Liver King thing drives me nuts because that guy's on steroids.
Well,
just shut the fuck up.
Well, so
I know he's eating really healthy. It's clear he's eating all these animal foods and, you know, he's eating organ meat, which is very rich in nutrients. All that's true, but he's dodging the main bullet.
A few months passed and he became super viral, and then Derek, aka More Plates, More Dates, actually exposed the Liver King for being a fraud. So what happened in this situation was that the Liver King has sent Derek the list of steroids that he was taking and the amount that he was taking per month, and he wanted some advice on how to maximize his steroid use. For those of you who are interested in watching that video, I'm gonna leave a link to the video down in the comment section down below. It's about an hour long, and Derek exposes everything about the Liver King that there is to expose. So finally, after this expose, the Liver King had to come out and finally admit that he was actually on steroids.
I'm making this video to apologize because I fucked up, because I'm embarrassed and ashamed, because I lied. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
After this, he largely fell out of the public image. You weren't really seeing him as much. He wasn't going as viral, and that's because everyone already figured out that he was basically lying. He still hasn't stopped making content online. He's still making content on YouTube, making content on Instagram, on TikTok, and various platforms across the internet. About 2 weeks ago, he put out this video titled "Liver King Still on Steroids? Moist Critical Response," where he talks about him getting back on steroids, and we're gonna go ahead and react to the video.
I didn't lie to anybody when I went on the podcast and I started talking about my earnest commitment to go natural.
You clearly lied to everybody. You lied to the public. You said that the reason you had that body was because you lived an ancestral lifestyle and that you weren't on the sauce, and that your supplements and dedication and eating raw liver and bull testicles is the reason why you had the physique that you had.
I was about 206 pounds in December, and then I got all the way down to 182. I look leaner. For anybody who doesn't believe me, all you have to do is look at my social media photos. Look at it from December to now and tell me that you can't tell the difference.
What I will say is that there is definitely a change. I do believe him that he said he got off the steroid. As you can see on the left right here, he's very bloated, which is a common side effect of certain steroids where they make your stomach just bloated out. And on the right side, he clearly has lost some muscle. He looks a lot leaner. I think a misconception that a lot of people have is that as soon as you get off the steroid, you're gonna instantly lose that body size. Sure, the steroids did help you out, but you're not gonna lose it all right away. So obviously he's still gonna have a shredded physique as long as he eats properly and is still currently working out.
A 1 rep max strict press was like 255, and I couldn't even hit 205 in July.
Your body's gonna suffer once you get off the steroids. You're not gonna be as strong because all of it was coming from the steroids. I do commend him for being honest about going back on the steroids though.
This is clearly all just marketing.
Here's the thing. I never wanted to do the Liver King.
So this is obviously a lie. He had reached out to Derek over a year before he began his online persona. He had already meticulously planned this, and he knew that he was going to be a public person and that he was going to use this to make a lot of money. He never wanted to be a private person. He says he could have been, which is true, but he wouldn't have made all the money he made from his supplements if he had never become the public figure known as Liver King.
You know, when I was younger, I hated my life. I hated who I was. I was ashamed. I wanted to So I figured a way out of that. It was really these ancestral tenets that got me out of this hellhole. It was the ancestral lifestyle that got my kids healthy.
I do feel for him when he talks about wanting to commit when he was younger. I know that a lot of men have that thought, and suicide is prevailing among young men, and it's becoming an ever increasingly worse issue for men. Suicide rates are through the roof, but him saying that he found a way out of it through the ancestral tenets while he was on steroids is not true. Your way out of it was through the steroids, not through living the lifestyle that you choose to live.
And so I'm thinking, okay, I got a responsibility. I have an obligation. You know, this is my opportunity to make my mark, you know, so that other young men like me don't have to hate their lives and suffer and struggle, so that other kids out there, like my own boys, have a decent shot at life.
So this is complete bull, because you don't have a responsibility to men, you don't have a responsibility to anyone. When you came out as a public persona of the Liver King, your goal was to show that your lifestyle was the best, but you were also lying about taking the steroids. So you weren't taking responsibility. You weren't telling men like, hey, look, this is the way to live, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm on the sauce. When anybody could clearly look at you and could tell that you were on the sauce. This actually hurts people more than it actually helps them, especially younger boys who are very impressionable, who might have seen him when he first became who he is and began to work out, and they're gonna work out and work out and work out for years and never achieve that body, live that lifestyle that you say you live, and then become depressed when they never get the results that you promised them they would get by simply following your system.
And he'd lead his followers to believe that if they purchase his supplements and his supplies and eat like him, they could look like him. No matter how closely you follow his ancestral tenets, and no matter how many of his products you buy, you will not have a body that looks like his unless you also get on all of the gear he's using in the same amounts of it.
I've never said, taking my supplements, you're gonna look like me. What I have said is, make sure to get the early morning sun, get your bare feet connected, grounded, anchored into the earth, so that you can express your highest and most dominant form.
You never said that, but that's what you portrayed when you hid the fact that you were on steroids. You were telling people that they could achieve the best version of themselves and possibly look like you by just living your lifestyle, when in reality you were on steroids the entire time. You were not honest about the way you were actually living. So telling young kids that they could achieve the best versions of themselves while you look like that, or just men in general while you look like that, what they're going to assume is that a man who claims he's not taking steroids and lives that lifestyle looks like that they can look the same way too.
Supplements won't do it, but there is one thing that might do it. If you take Greg's supplements.
How long is he going to be with us? And so, of course, you can buy products from me. They're not banned by water. And, of course, the cookbooks, training books.
That might actually do it. That's worth a shot. I would do it.
I don't know what's the purpose of the dig right here at Greg Doucette, because Greg has never shied away from the fact that he was a steroid user when he competed when he was young. And Greg Doucette in his videos always says, you will not look like me unless you get on gear. He doesn't actually promote the usage of gear. He's currently on TRT, probably has to be on it for the rest of his life because of his steroid abuse when he was young. So him telling you to buy his supplements isn't necessarily a bad thing. He's not telling you that you're gonna get his body with his supplements and his cookbooks.
Okay, Critical, I know that you were late to the party, but the party has just begun. I'm issuing and offering a formal invitation for you to come to Liver King Ranch. I'll give $100,000 donation to a charity of your choosing when you come out here and see that none of this is an act, that this is actually how I live, my queen, my boys, and that my bed does not have diamonds laced through it like you're accusing me of.
Here's the problem with this. We already know that the Liver King is a character. You formulated this character a year before you actually went public and began to go viral online. What's to say that for one day, Charlie comes out to your ranch and you behave how you behave in front of the camera? It's only gonna be for one day. That doesn't prove anything. I do like the fact that he offered $100,000 to a charity of Charlie's choosing. I think that's extremely nice. But overall, I think that if the Liver King had come out from the very beginning and admitted that he was on steroids, but that he was promoting this lifestyle that was supposed to help people and help men in particular and help them with suicide rates, then I think more people would have been receptive to his message. Because when was the last time anyone got mad at a bodybuilder? You know why? Because bodybuilders, while they may not admit they don't use steroids, they never flat out say they don't. And everybody knows that to be a competitive bodybuilder, you have have to be on the gear. Nobody hates bodybuilders, and bodybuilders are all used all the time to promote supplements for companies so that they can sell with ridiculous bodies that the normal person won't achieve just by taking the supplement that they are promoting. Nobody gets mad at that because the bodybuilders aren't coming out here and saying, yeah, I'm doing this all natty and this is just based on the way I eat, the way I sleep, the way I work out, and the supplements I take. It's not reality. I think the Liver King did real damage to his brand. I don't think that regardless of whatever he chooses to do, whether he chooses to be transparent from now on or not, that he will ever regain that trust by the public. And I'm sure that ever since the truth came out about him, his pocketbooks took a big hit. If you see the like to dislike ratio on this video, he's got 2,964 likes to 2,053 dislikes. So a little bit over half likes over dislikes, which means this video wasn't received very well by the public. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and follow me on social media. The links are always in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of the ones right here on the screen. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.